So here's the problem with Putin. Putin is he's 70 now. It's so many people want to leave their mark, right? I think these maniacal narcissist fucks and I'm talking about Ted Cruz. I'm talking about not just Russians. I'm talking about all of them. Everyone wants to leave their mark, and this guy doesn't care if it's in a good or a bad way. I don't think he cares if he has to kill a whole bunch of people, take over a country, and start a world war. He'll be like, well, I'm the guy who started the world war then. Aha, I'm the important guy. I think this
But he's been in power for like 30 years?
He supposedly
he wins every time. It's
the
amazing.
richest man in the world. He's supposedly worth like $260 billion.
Wow.
That's like the whole country's
he's been just
GDP.
Yes, that's why they
he goes into his bank account.
Yes, that's why they have the GDP of Italy. Russia has the entire. I'm not kidding. That's their GDP of Italy. That's why when people go, we're so scared of Russia's going to. They're not us.
Yeah,
they're not us.
They don't. Nobody knows for sure, but they believe about 200 billion. But of course, nobody really knows.
So do you know how impossible it is to spend $1 billion?
I could try.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You can't spend billions of $1 billion.
You would have to buy like
the
Bahamas,
an
island,
or as Chris Rock said, the colored blue. You have to pay for something that air. What do you? I own oxygen. Oh, how much you have? I had 200 billion. I bought all the oxygen. So what happened now is that he's got 130,000 troops wrapped around Ukraine right now. They are saying Biden just came out and gave a speech today. He was like, "Listen, do what you're going to do, but here's what's going to happen." He did something that Obama didn't do with Crimea, which Obama remember it was quiet all of a sudden one day. They went into Crimea and they took over Crimea. Do you remember this?
Yep.
Like we didn't even know it was happening.
Yep. We're like, what's Crimea? What?
Yeah. Like who took over what and where and why? And so they were saying today that the people in Ukraine are happy that they're doing it differently. Like they're letting out all the intelligence. The intelligence community told Obama, "Don't tell anybody. Just leave it like it is. See what happens." And they got a lot of shit for that. So now that they're telling everybody, and Putin supposedly pulled some troops back today. He said basically we were doing maneuvers and we are pulling back now. They were just training exercises.
Yeah,
but we're going to leave the other 110,000.
And Biden said in his speech today that they don't have confirmation that they actually did remove.
No, they didn't move anybody. He just said it.
Biden also said if Russia decided to invade, it would have consequences here at home, gas and energy prices. He said that the administration is taking active steps to prevent any disruption, which sounds terrifying. Thank God we have
someone who's on top of shit.
Cars who don't use gas.
Oh, we have cars. Yeah.
But what else? What else?
Here's the problem. So because the stock market went up 300 points today because Putin said we were just doing training exercises. He didn't move anything, but he just said that. That's how he's gonna. If he does this, he's going to fuck the world economy. Like, we're just coming out of COVID. Like, dude. Be a dick 5 years from now.
Right.
Like, you know,
can you give us a minute? For
God's sake, Putin. Give us a couple of days, for God's sakes.
But I want to leave my mark on the world.
Exactly. So no, everybody is better. Masks off. Let's do this.
He said if Russia attacks Ukraine, it would be a war of choice or a war without cause or a reason. I say these things not to provoke, but to speak the truth, because the truth matters. Accountability matters. And then he said, make no mistake, the U.S. will defend every inch of NATO territory with full force of American power. An attack against one NATO country is an attack against all of us.
And Austin, Austin went to France to talk to them, and he's basically they're circling the wagons with NATO countries. I don't know what they're going to do because Ukraine's not a NATO country. They really can't.
Here's my question. So one of Putin's biggest holdups is he wants us and NATO allies to confirm that Ukraine will not be allowed to be a part of NATO. Here's what I don't get about that. How could that be his stance when Ukraine is their own country? So we all have to agree to exclude another country.
That's not Russia.
That's not you either. I don't...
Because Putin has this problem.
It's crazy.
He says Putin has this, and he's wanted it for years. He wants to reunite the original Soviet Union. That was before the wall fell, and before they basically fucked it up so bad it broke off into 8 or 9 countries. Georgia, 8 or 9 countries.
Yeah.
So, by the way, this was great. You just went. How many countries? I edit shit, and I write and help you with jokes. I don't.
15.
It was 15 countries. So he says the greatest. He wants the empire of the Soviet Union back. So he's trying to rebuild it.
He's got 15 to go. Belarus was one of those, but that guy's up his butt. But that guy doesn't want to give up power. That guy is very interested in keeping power.
Yep.
So I imagine if it came down to that, Armenia, of course. Ukraine, of course, Uzbekistan. So there's 15. He's starting there. Obviously, why is Ukraine the one that he's been so interested in for so long?
Well, if you look,
what about all these?
It's got a big coast. It's got a big access to water. I think that's you always want a strategic place where you have access to the sea. And that's why he took Crimea. He needed. He's
going in
Crimea
a
was
row,
small,
kind of, I guess.
Crimea was small. I guess there's an oil pipeline that goes through Crimea, and so he had access to that, and they could protect it.
Oh.
So he's strategic.
Follow the money.
It's like, dude, again. We're not even out of the pandemic yet, bro. Can you give us 3 years and then a war? 3 years and then a war. We're fine. We're fine with that. We'll probably be itching for one at that point anyway.
Yeah, right.
And we'll be like 3 years from now, we're all back, we're partying every day.
Time to kill people.
Kazakhstan, where what's his name is from.
Borat?
Yes. In his movie film.
Well, the Ukraine girls, right? They're apparently very, very appealing to look at, right? Ukraine girls really knock them out, right? They're very pretty girls.
The Ukraine girls are hip. I really.
What porn are you looking at now?
It's a Beatles
you know what? I'm
song.
going to have to the camera on the computer. We have to all right, we have to go to the computer.
Parental controls.
Yeah. The doll was ordered from the Ukraine.
All the way that it's represented in Borat is they have a lot of hair and warts on their chins. Mm-hmm. But of course, I'm sure he's 100% factual.
He also calls it their back pussy, which in the movie, I'm just like, wow, bro.
That movie.
Like Sacha Baron Cohen, to be that dumb, Ali G too, to be that funny dumb, you have to be so smart to be like. That's why when Zach was being Dave, I always say, man, and you've seen it. Every actor that plays dumb has to be a genius. Because you have to know what you're saying, how you're saying it, how it looks. Like there's 3 levels you have to know just to get the line out. Yeah. Sacha Baron Cohen is ridiculously funny.
He is. He's a national treasure.
So if Putin, I don't understand what happens. So if he takes over Ukraine, so he wants to exclude Ukraine out of NATO, but here's what, we can't do anything because they're not a NATO country. We can't bring NATO in, but we're friends with Zelensky. So we're supposed to help them. And Zelensky's been like, hey, by the way, America, stop talking about this. Don't panic. Don't do this. Today they came out and went, hey guys, can you send us a bunch of stuff for camps that are housed like 300-500 people?
I felt like,
and we need medical supplies. We don't want weapons.
Did you see the video he made with his wife?
No.
Yesterday, after it came out that supposedly that Russia was going to invade on Wednesday, and he made a social media video with his wife showing that they hadn't left, that they were still at home. Of course, how do we know where he is? They're in their living room, and they have drinks and they're cheersing, and she's behind him like this. Like, she does not look at ease at all, and he's trying to reassure the people and calling for a day of unity on Wednesday instead, and she has this
She's
look
about 1
like,
second from going, we're so fucked! We're so fucked!
That's what it looks like. I thought, they did a couple takes of that.
Right.
Totally, I know that face.
A little more smiley. Yeah. A little more smiley. And she's like...
Less clenchy. Yeah. They're coming.